right. If the terminal ray, of an angle theta is in standard position and passes through -3, 2, find sine of theta and cosine of theta. And so let's get a quick sketch of what's going on here. Here's our xy coordinates, and we're told that this goes through the point of -3, 2. So right around there somewhere. This is just a rough sketch, obviously. Now that triangle, remember the base is always along the x-axis. That triangle there has an x value that is negative. It's -3, and a y value that's positive, positive 2. So first off, this is going to be in the second quadrant, quadrant 2. And in quadrant 2, remember that in quadrant 2, sine is positive. Sine is positive. Okay, so let's start going through this. And so we know this length here. This is going to be -3. This is going to be a positive 2. And you can think of that as also as a positive 3, and because remember, distance is always positive, but it might help to keep in mind that that's going to be -3, to the left 3 from the origin. Now we need to figure out what the radius here is going to be, what our hypotenuse is going to be. And so our Pythagorean theorem, we have -3 squared plus 2 squared gives us that radius, or the hypotenuse squared. That's 9 plus 4 equals the hypotenuse squared, so that's 13. 13, and then take the square root of each side, and we get the square root of 13 is equal to the hypotenuse. So square root of 13. Okay, and we need to know that because we have, if we're supposed to find the sine and the cosine, remember sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So let's go ahead and plug in those pieces. The opposite sine of theta, of our central angle, is 2. So we have 2 over the hypotenuse, which is the square root of 13. Now we want to simplify this, make sure we have our denominator is rationalized. So multiply the top and the bottom by the square root of 13. And we end up with 2 root 13 all over 13. There's sine of theta. Actually, should have included theta back there. Sine of theta is 2 root 13 over 13. Now let's find cosine. And please pause the video. You've seen how to do sine. Now pause the video. Try to see if you can figure out cosine. And again, hope that you have paused the video and actually tried this out. Here's cosine, or let's do black again. So cosine of theta. Cosine, remember that's adjacent over hypotenuse. And so we have -3 over the square root of 13. And then that, again, we do want our denominator rationalized, so square root of 13 over the square root of 13, multiply both the top and the bottom by that. And that gives us negative. Remember, cosine's negative. The only one in the second quadrant that's positive is sine. So negative 3 root 13 over 13. All right, hope that helps.